As everybody's dropping into the overworld, Aaron, what is the lore that they know coming into this? This is one of the best kept secrets in gaming. What is the lore of this universe even? So what do they know coming into this, Aaron?
At the moment, I would say that the most that they will know is that they have crashed onto this planet. Obviously, that was a mistake, and now their job is to fix that mistake in whatever way they can.
How does Illuvium Overworld relate to Illuvium Arena and Illuvium Zero from a design standpoint? How does this game matter to our other game experiences in a nutshell?
Yeah, so Illuvium Overworld is the heart of the sort of assets generation for the other games. So Illuvium Zero is, in a similar way, it generates the fuel, which is then used in our future games and primarily right now in Illuvium Overworld. Illuvium Overworld are where the actual game objects come in. Your weapons, your armor, your actual Illuvials, everything that you're going to be owning as an NFT is coming into existence as a result of gameplay in the Overworld.
Let's go take a look at my inventory because you're the lead on Overworld, so you hooked me up with a bunch of resources. So I have significantly upgraded my ability to traverse the Overworld through my equipment. So let's start with the helmet and the visor. What the heck does the visor do, and how does it benefit me as a player as I'm trying to capture more powerful Illuvials?
Like, basically all of these tools help you navigate the world faster. So the faster you are in the world, the more Illuvials and the faster you get resources. The visor specifically grants you Nether sight. It's an ability which in our game lets you see only the objects that are relevant. So basically when you activate it, you only see the Illuvial Wakes, the minables and the harvestables, and any other like interactable objects we'll have in the future.
You can also upgrade your other equipment as well, right? So the Jetpack, for example, if I get advanced Jetpack versus basic, for example, or supreme,
the Jetpack itself will give you a greater first impulse, so your starting speed will be a lot greater.
I see.
And then also the overall speed is greater, so you'll be able to travel longer distances. So basically, if we can have a level in which there's a big gap, you can only go over if you have the stage 3 Jetpack.
Before we go into stage 1, Ben, what is the difference between stage 0, 1, 2, and 3? And aren't there different access requirements with fuel cost to enter each of these stages?
Yeah. So additional stages, generally speaking, increase the average value of the loot. And in our case, that means the higher tier stuff. That applies throughout everything in the game. And as a result, we charge additional fuel to go into the higher stage regions. Now, based on this sort of the fuel to reward breakdown, they're actually mostly equal, right? Because the cost goes up. But from a game time versus reward perspective, the higher stage is usually better.
I think the best way to think about it is imagine that there's different packs of cards that you could purchase, and the more expensive packs of cards will have a higher average sort of value to them, more rare things that are inside them. But instead of it being just a boring pack of cards that you actually get to interact with the world and extract them out through gameplay.
So right when you enter Crimson Waste, you're not safe anymore. This isn't home. There are dangers out there. And this green stuff down here is not Jello. It is acid, correct me if I'm wrong, and you will die. And whenever you land in a hazard, obviously it teleports you back to the obelisk and you have to start over again.
Yeah, the it in that case is specifically your polymorphic companion drone. So it's registering that your suit has reached a critical level and your drone is pulling you out so that you don't actually die.
Now here we are at some resources in the overworld, and I can press E to interact, but there are two options here. So why would I want to scan this? Wouldn't I just want to extract it?
Primarily, scanning is a lot cheaper than extracting. And as a result, it depends on your playstyle and what you're specializing in. So over time, what we expect is some resources to be of a lot lower value than others. And players, as a result, when they're targeting, because we're an economy-focused game, there's a free market, everything's tradable. Players will be specializing not necessarily in what they need in the specific short term, but instead in what gets them the most value in a run. And as a result, scanning allows you to just ensure that you don't waste your time or your energy extracting stuff that you don't need.
Now, in this case, I can see some of what's inside the ore deposit, but I can't see, there's some unknown items here. So is this also a part of the drone upgrade mechanic, where if I upgrade my drone, I can potentially see more, or no?
Yes. So if you were to upgrade your drones and focus instead on scanning power, you would be seeing what was in those.
I am going to extract just so people can see what that's like. So holding to extract, and now I'm going through that process.
If I can interject here, like scanning is especially important for encounters. Like basically right now for mining you can't fail the action, right? Like you extract X number of times and you get the loot. But if you go into an encounter without scanning before, there might be Illuviers that are a lot powerful than your deck and you'll get wrecked.
Someone in chat's asking what Nether is, and I will say that a infrared visor picks up on specific types of electromagnetic radiation, and possibly Netherite picks up on something slightly different, and leave it there.
Hey everybody, I just shot this thing that was floating in the air. I saw it on my Nether site. I shot it with my gun. What is it? Help me understand what this is, Ben.
The thing that was moving around was an Illuvial Wake. So Illuvial Wake is the echoes of an alluvial moving around. Longer term, there are talks, plans, discussions, musings as to getting them into the overworld itself and having them be there. But for the time being, this is their impact on the world right now. After you've successfully shot it with the dimensional tether gun, you will watch the wake transform into a singularity.
There is a new mechanic in here that folks that played Arena are not familiar with. We've got this Illuvium purple bar at the top of the screen. So Andre, what does this bar do? What does it mean? And why does it matter to me as a player versus if I'm used to just playing Arena and just defeating the other team?
This is called Dimensional Stability. And if I remember correctly, it's the brainchild of Ben. So basically, we have this here. So if you have a very good deck and you go inside, you will be able to destroy anything, right? The dimensional stability prevents that. Like basically, you have to match the opponents, like the other Illuvials, in terminal strength, so their dimensional stability remains higher. And based on that, you'll be able to have more tries of capturing the Illuvials. You can for sure, for example, use your best Illuvials here. Like try placing your best Illuvial, your
right.
tier 4 stage, place them, and you see how dimensional stability decreases.
Oh wow, that tanked my dimensional stability, and whoa, look at the, holy moly.
So basically that tells you your team is a lot stronger than the other team. So in this case, you will only get one chance to capture the other Illuvial. So you have to think tactically about this. So let's remove it and let's try with another unit which has less strength than this one.
Yeah, okay.
Lesser
we do not want the dimensional stability bar at the top to go down to 1. That is like worst case scenario, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it would technically go well into the negatives, but we always give you one opportunity to capture. So,
so the lower it goes,
negative 500.
So by placing my lower cost, lower power alluvial on the board, I only took away a little bit of dimensional instability, and that will give me what you're saying, more chances in order to capture.
More tries, basically.
More tries.
Each time you try to capture an Illuvial, if you don't capture it, and even if you do capture it, like the Illuvial stability, like the dimensional stability will decrease.
Whenever you play in Arena, and technically encounter mode is effectively Arena, you're not playing as you.
What?
You're actually playing as your companion drone, right? Your companion drone is the thing that is deploying these, and your companion drone is keeping this little pocket dimension stable. if you start to deploy incredibly powerful things, you're distracting your drone from being able to do what it wants to do, which is to keep it stable. So that's where that interplay comes in. He's got 2 out on the screen. He can't handle it. And you'll see that this encounter that you're inside is suddenly incredibly unstable, meaning that it's going to collapse really quickly. And if you try to do something like capture an alluvial, it's going to overload your drone. It won't be able to keep things stable, and yeah, you'll be kicked out.
So we do have weapons and armor all under the category of armaments, if I got that correct there, Aaron, where you can select different weapons, which can synergize with your team, and your ranger can be equipped with those, and those can be forged. And then, of course, you can get different armor as well. So this, when we get our weapons and armor and we forge it in Sanctum Mesa, that will allow us to basically better synergize our ranger with whatever alluvials we're deploying. And the last thing I want to show people is augments. And I've got 3 different augments. This one gives energy resistance, this one gives critical chance, this one gets thorns. So why would I want to use augments?
Yes, so augments are very specific things. They are designed such that they're incredibly powerful if you use them well. If you use them well, they are fantastic in terms of power for cost. But if you use them badly, then they become really inefficient.
There it is. Yeah. Once I put that augment on my alluvial, I can then select 2 stacks to further customize. So there's some deep strategy involved here. But notice how that did cost mastery points, and that did decrease the dimensional instability. So this does come at a cost, and you always need to be thinking about efficiency. Here we go. I'm going to hit the start button to start the battle. Obviously, I'm going to win.
Let's hope so. But yeah, but your ranger died, so minus 10 points for that.
Minus style points. Now I have 3 of these thingies at the bottom of the screen. Andre, what are these?
These are shards, which basically you have to mine them and then cure them. And once you get these cure shards, they are used to imprint illuvials into them. So basically, if we can think in terms of Pokemon, they're like the Pokeballs.
So just for fun, I'm going to use this highest capture power option that I have right here, the Resplendent Shard Fragment, which can capture tier 5 or lesser alluvials. Drag and drop, and then confirm.
I trust in my 4% chance. Come on, 4%.
Come on, 4%.
Oh, you already passed 1 stage? Oh no. This is not looking good for my 4% chance.
Uh-oh.
Come on, 4%.
Yeah, we did it.
You got him.
There it is. And you captured an alluvial, my friends. All right, there we go. We got an alluvial.
This is for Ben. How many alluvials can I take with me in the deck in the overworld?
It varies depending on your drone upgrades. I believe by default it's 5, and you can increase that significantly with drone upgrades.
I'll take it.
Got it.
People are asking about the energy you use to travel. Like, is it limited per day? Can you buy as much as you want? Does it get refreshed daily, or things like that? We have quite a few questions about that. About crypto.
In the beta, because it's not, real resources that you're getting, we give you a certain amount of energy per day that we feel would be a reasonable amount for someone to play. We're not going to give you a whole bunch, because the point isn't to have you guys progress at a rapid pace and, clear through the region and get all of the loot in a matter of days. We want it to be something that takes a decent amount of progression.
So new players that are jumping into, let's say, overworld beta, Ben, what kinds of things would you recommend that they look at early on?
I would probably say look towards stuff that you can equip to your ranger. So I think your first couple of runs will be in a stage 0 region, which you can run for free unlimitedly. And you'll probably be focusing on mining in order to build yourself up some weapons and collect some shards.
Just to have
He literally can't exist without them.
Yeah, I need the
Yeah,
skin. I can't continue the life. It's the small button at the there's no skin where it says no skin.
Ah,
Yeah.
right here.
We need to improve that a bit, the UI for it. Make it larger.
Ooh, skin.
Twice as large as the inventory.
Yes. Very good. So this is Aquarian Cascade Ranger right here. Very good. Ah, there's the Mozart skin. Perfect. So obviously the UI needs some work here, guys. There we go. Blooming Burt's Mozart. There it is. So skin equals win, everyone. You heard it here first. I want to show one of these fusions you referred to. We've got 3 Tatopies, and that's going to fuse into a Teeantee. So here's our fusion. Let's go. So you're saying it's burning the Tatopies, and so I love the deflationary aspect.
I will not say what's happening from a lore perspective.
I see.
When I say burning, I mean that's a functional aspect of the blockchain.
Right.
Those 3 NFTs are now burnt, and they're replaced with a new NFT. There's not much to dislike about our community and how they interact with us. So all I would say is just thank you so much to the people that have helped make this happen. That is both the community and the devs that are working on it. We have over 100 people working specifically on Overworld in various capacities, whether they be, devs, art, marketing, all sorts of things. And we would not be able to do this without all of their hard work and also the massive amount of support that the community give us.
Ben, you get the last word, buddy. What do you want to say?
I'd like to thank myself for being awesome.